Hi, and welcome to my life. And this is a little bit more of the Saturday that is weird and out doing stuff. I'm not doing as much now. I went to the parts store to get the little bottle of .4 brake fluid that the motorcycle needs. Then they started breaking bolts and really turning this motorcycle from a brief job to an unfortunate project. They went over to the nearest Home Depot store, and at that time, fortunately, there was one bolt available in the size they needed to get. Now, they've had to run over to the other home improvement store and get more bolts. I hope they get spares this time. Fortunately, although they did break off the one they picked up, they were able to drill it out. So now they need more bolt. And I got my rocking chair out of the back of the adventure truck. I'm sitting here, I've got the rest of my water, which is not much, it's something. And I've got a Coke Zero, because every now and then, I really wanted one yesterday when I was working on this bottle of club soda, because I like it, but either a Mexican Coke or Coke Zero can be diluted in the club soda and be much closer to being something I should be willing to drink. But caffeine is okay for me when I'm having the kind of week where headaches happen. And I really liked it last night. What I wound up doing was grabbing a passion fruit syrup from the bar supplies, one of the ingredients that goes into Loki's sweetened cocktails he likes to make for himself. And the puree was a better tasting product, but it was not time to make hurricanes, and it just didn't seem right in my mouth. So I dumped out almost half a bottle of club soda late at night. Rinsed out the bottle and just got myself some RO water. And this morning I put my electrolytes in it. Brought it out with me when I left for Tai Chi. Now, I don't know when I'll finish that water with the electrolytes in it, but I did get me a non-sugared soda. And now I'm babysitting the tools that are out. As you don't leave stuff all over the place next to a vehicle you're working on and go off to get more bolts. Not unless someone's staying with it. Ugh. Yeah. It is a little sunny, but it's not quite a cloud-free day. I got a ball cap. And the motorcycle being worked on is under a carport. And since it's at the apartment complex where my son lives, there's sun coming in between the carports. So it's still a vitamin D day for me. Yay. And they'll be gone a little longer this time because, like I said, they've got to go to the next home improvement store. It's over across the highway. And I did get my rocking chair out. Everybody needs some kind of a fold-up rocking chair. I tried sitting on the curb over here, but sitting unsupported in a place where you're going to be inclined to slouch can be painful on your back. And it's better to go ahead and try to make your life pain-free. I don't mean by taking chemical options. Although, if you can do it with your food and drink and proper movement, that's the way to do it. If you do need a painkiller, don't feel bad about it. There's a lot of people who do. Now, if I was going to be in particular pain, just sitting in a regular chair, I'd be in trouble. I had that happen not too long ago. It's like the very bottom of my spine, where it's all fused and the pieces don't move anymore. It felt like I had a year's supply of arthritis saved up and dumped it all there at one time. What the dickens is going on with that? I'm gonna pop this Coke open and have some. I have not had even a Coke Zero straight in so long, because for the most part they go in club soda, which does give me twice as much time to consume it. It tones the flavor down considerably, and sodas are not the best tasting things anyway. Sometimes a nice tea or a iced coffee is pretty good, but maybe this caffeine will wake me up a little bit. I can sure tell you I will be belching, because that bubbles. Now I'm not going to show the scattered carnage of the tools over here. I don't want to accidentally show my son's motorcycle. I have kind of gotten my shoes dirty, so I guess I will need to wash those. But, yeah, socket and wrench set over there, drill bits, drill they had to drill out the busted bolt with. Now, when I showed up, my son has like a Yeti tumbler or something full of water, and he had brought it out with him. Now, Loki, just being who he is, he had part of a case of water that was left after the getting errands done run to the cabin with our wonderful friend Mark and a couple other fellas, and they were getting some stuff done. And, you know, if you buy a case of water and you don't use it all, it might sit in the back seat, especially in Texas, where you don't know when you might pull up where somebody's working on something and, oh, hey, do you need a bottle of water? Or when we were eclipse chasing, my daughter and her squeeze and her youngest son and I were all out in Squeeze's truck, and we went far enough to actually see the full eclipse. And that was nice, but the next one's coming. And I won't have to drive far, I just have to step out in my yard. And that's going to be a good day. I need to find out if anyone wants to maybe have a meet up at a park somewhere, and we could put some hot dogs on, just do a low budget whatever, view the eclipse, enjoy each other's company. It could be fun. I might have to mention this in the comment section on a few other people's YouTubes, because really not very many people following mine yet. Although I'm getting short videos made every here and there, because when I get to the point that I'm ready to start figuring out how to do a live stream, that'll be unlocked for me. Right now, I'm just sitting under a carport with the sun coming in on me. Yep, sunshine on my pale arms. I don't tan very much. I would have to be out all the time every day to actually get much of a tan going. I have managed it, but not since I was a teenager. And, vitamin D, yay. Just having a nice day. There's a little bit of a breeze, so it's not too hot to be out. And I have water, and like I mentioned, Loki had some in the back seat, and I got him a couple of waters out. I think he has already slammed both of them, because that's what happens when you're working on something from 8 to 8:30-ish, and now it's after 2. Now, normally by this time, even I would be going, maybe it's time to eat. Sometimes I don't. Apparently, my daughter-in-law, who is a wonderful person, my son made some comment about, not waking her up. I'm like, yeah, I got, and her being a princess. I mentioned the fact that my father-in-law treated me kind of like that, too. Anything for me. Because I married his son. She married my doofus son, and I'm so glad he's got her in his life. She is a sweet girl. Now, since they've been together, we know that part of her semi-translucent ethereal beauty was the fact that there was something, more than one unhealthy thing going on in her life. And the day came when it's like, Mom, this is going on. What do I need to do? I'm like, well, if you're already at the office, you're not doing much. But get hold of her and find out if she's going to be able to get to the bottom of the steps at that apartment, because they were on the 3rd floor at the time. And I will be there to pick her up. And it had to do with fever and how she was feeling. And anyway, into a walk-in clinic and get told, you're going to the emergency room now. Ah, puppies. They're good-looking dogs. Good boys. I like beagles. The first dog in my life was my mom's beagle. You gotta watch out for beagles. They're smart. They get along okay with smart kids. And they will absolutely run your life if they figure out that they are smarter than you. Yay, beagles. And that brave soul was walking 2 of them. Beagles will keep you healthy because they need the exercise. They start getting thick around the middle if they don't, just like us. They need the exercise. We need exercise. And I went and worked out, fasted this morning. And I'm glad. Apparently there is some extra metabolism mojo you get with working out fasted. If I worked out harder, it would be more mojo, but that's okay. I'm not taking sugar. Man, it would be a good day for about a quart of chocolate milk and half a dozen donuts. And as long as I'm having thoughts like that, I know it's still important for me to avoid sugar. And the sweet stuff that's in the Coke Zero counts, but not so much, really. I mean, I drive past donut places all the time. I walk past them at the grocery store. I don't have to have them. I would like to. Of course, I would still like to have a cigarette too, but I don't buy any. And simply making the decision not to buy them is very good, because that makes it easier to make that same decision again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I see a tree behind me that's got a little bit of mistletoe in it. That little green clump right there. But the branches are mostly still bare. Some things just leaf out sooner than others. And there's some out near my home that are really looking nice. And then there's some in town here. You know, they get sun, they get watered. But they aren't leafing out. That's alright. Something that doesn't taste like electrolyte mix. I like the electrolytes, that's cool. But I already figured out I don't need the flavored ones. I mean, I don't need the Coke either, but after the headache yesterday, I kind of wanted some caffeine. And when I get ready and leave the house, there's usually either no coffee left in the pot, or it'll be cold because I didn't want it earlier in the day. Loki drinks the H-E-B grocery store brand coffee that's called Houston Blend. It's got a little coconut in it. It's got a nice flavor. Not very much, but you add toasted coconut to coffee beans and grind them up together, you get a nice flavor. And it doesn't really seem to make much difference in the carbs or anything. It's still a cup of coffee. Must have been hitting yard sales earlier, or maybe a sale where she shops for her kids or something, because earlier they pulled in and got stuff and went inside, and now they're back out getting stuff out of the trunk. Yay. But this is a major chunk of my day. Babysitting the tools so that they don't walk off. and a very small power inverter. Loki has clips on it that'll clip to the battery of the pickup, and then you can use it to run power drill or what have you. And it will run a small electric kettle so that he can make the coffee he likes, which is French press. He grinds a Houston blend coffee, which I will admit it does taste pretty good. I'm one for, I like a plain Kona. Single source, which means you know it's coming from one island way out in the middle of the Pacific. One place where it is farmed. It's inside the U.S., so no one's getting mistreated in the name of coffee. No one's being underpaid. And the Jamaican Blue Mountain is good too. I like coffee. You take something smooth like that, put a little good quality cream in it, a few drops of vanilla, take it just like that. Sometimes just the vanilla. If I'm out of cream, I'll still drink coffee. Just not very often. It's not the best habit to be in, apparently. But coffee is, yeah, a little pop-up notice about someone else's videos. But, while there are some issues with coffee, it seems to be protective of your telomeres. I may have to find where I read that and float that past Bart K, because Bart K does science. At the moment, I have enough trouble just doing human. But at least I'm down to where I can wear the new dress I got for Christmas. And I'd like to lose some more weight too. I must have lost most of the 90 pounds I lost. Had to have been visceral. Some of it in the organs and some of it packed in around the organs. And that's not healthy. But to make that much difference in my day-to-day life means it was coming out of places where it should never have been allowed to get started. I kind of keep hoping the daughter-in-law will be walking their little dog out here, because he is a fluffy, friendly fellow. Try saying that 3 times fast. He is a good-looking little dog. He's maybe a little bit taller than Dyson the Carney Wawa. And he's built funny. He's got width across the hip structure, but he's very dainty in the front. And he's fluffy. I've seen him after a bath. When he is soaked, there goes his looks. And he's got freckles all over his little face. He's spotted. There's some cattle dog in there somewhere, and the rest of him is like dust mop. Fluff sticking everywhere. But he's a sweet, sweet dog. And between him having pancreatitis at one point and having to be hospitalized, and doggies don't like to be hospitalized any more than I do. But it means being very careful what he gets for treats and how much. And it needs to be digestible. It needs to be something that is not going to make his health worse. So, and that and the Carney dog had, they'd gotten kind of, every year at Christmas I was getting them a Whimsy's little chew thing, a little alligator, little chewy alligator. No longer than my finger. But as chews go, Dyson managed to get a tooth pulled out. Probably in a Whimsy's. Can't prove it was, can't prove it wasn't. I just know I spotted a space in his mouth where there should have been a tooth. So I started getting other things. So for Christmas, last Christmas, I got them each a bag of a salmon snack for dogs. I'm kind of surprised the cat doesn't try to get them, because for a dried salmon does not smell bad or anything. And since then, I found the Riley's turkey tendons. I brought a bag over here, and that was after I got a bag for Dyson. But you know what? That's collagen. It's just dried tendon. And they can eat that up, should be perfectly safe. I would like them both to be healthy. Now the Carney Wawa is getting to be in pretty good shape. He's exercising his cat, and he's getting quite prancy. He's prancing, but when it's time to take him out, he'll be like, well, come on, are we gonna go out? Come on, take me out, come on. As only an excited dog can do. And it's nice to see that level of excitement in him. He spent a lot of time not being excited about going outside, because when we found him, it was outside, and he was near death. He's just wandering around, staggering probably. Looked like a little collection of dry twigs wrapped in a rag, a furry rag, but a rag. He was messed up. We brought him in. The daughter bathed him. He tried to be threatening, even back then. Found out he was going to get a bath anyway. And now he likes it there. Of course, now I share beef with him. And sometimes eggs. He likes bacon and eggs. But if I don't have enough hot sauce or what have you, he lets me know about it. It's like, Mama, this breakfast is disappointing. Where's the hot sauce? I was pretty iffy about giving him that kind of stuff at first, but he seriously likes it. many drills does it take to work on a motorcycle? About 4, I guess. One's an actually a screwdriver-ish thing. You can put a drill bit in it, so it's still kind of a drill. And that one's battery powered, and that one's battery powered, and that one's plug-in. So, yep. How much more stuff can we get out? Oh, well. Not my project. Not my project. Now, I did put it in Loki's head this morning and yesterday when we were talking about the fact that this was what he was doing with his day. That, besides being, this is what our son requested for his birthday. And I'm sitting here, so he's not. It gives them a little more of that time with Dad. I mean, if he wanted me to come over and teach his wife to make pickles, I'd be there. And, jams and jellies. We did get our sewing machine at one point, and it uses a particular size of bobbin, so we got a box of those bobbins. Now I'm thinking they ought to be back pretty soon, because I'm a half hour into this video, and I didn't start it the minute they left or anything. So I'll try to get this uploaded. Maybe it won't be as out of place as the other video, because one of them did not get uploaded in the right sequence, since I'm doing a lot of small videos today. But yeah, I think Eclipse Day next month, it might be fun if some of us Central Texas carnivores get together at a park, roast some beef hot dogs on a grill. I might get that little Weber Q grill cleaned up in time for that. Do a whole bunch of hot dogs. Anybody who wants something besides a hot dog can bring it. I like hot dogs though. There's some people really driving too fast. One of the things I don't like about being in town all day. But it's where part of my family is. That family includes a little dog whose face I need to pet. In case anyone wonders about my sweet, beautiful daughter-in-law being not out here social, she is a live streamer. She gets on Twitch and she does fiber arts, spinning, knitting, crocheting, now even weaving. My son ordered a loom she wanted, and she has done a piece of weaving on it, and it looked perfectly nice and even on her live stream. I generally cannot stay up as late as the people she is streaming to. But she uses a blending board, which is kind of like a giant flat comb for combing out wool. And you get the wool combed out, and if you're doing variegated colors, then you line them up where you want them, and you comb it all one way, and then you go the other way and get it off the board, and you've got a multicolored rollack, and then you spin from that rollack. But it's pretty cool. Now, I've spun wool with a drop spindle or a spinning wheel for a very long time. But she's doing different, she has learned so much about different breeds that fiber comes from. And yes, alpaca is worth it. Oh my God, that's so soft. A lot of people like llama wool. Baby llamas. Yay. Adult llamas are not quite as soft or fluffy, but I occasionally have met them. I don't think I've spun any llama. You can get silk, raw silk, and you can spin it yourself if you want something special. It's a little bit pricey to do that. And there's just so many things you can get fiber-wise if you want different kinds of natural fiber. And you can get some already colored. You can get some ready to be colored. You can get, I typically am just using raw wool. Lost the box. They might have put it on the back of the car and not put it in the box. They realized there was an actual adult sitting outside that would have seen which vehicle it came from, so they stopped, and their kid is throwing it in the back of the vehicle. Trash run at an apartment. Anything that's bulky, little oversized like boxes, you throw it in your trunk or in your vehicle and you run it around to the dumpster. But every apartment complex got to be a little different. There they are. I think they're coming back. Yep, so I'll be done with this video now. Y'all take care. Do what you need to do. Be nice to somebody. Take care of yourselves. Grandma wants you to be okay. Make Grandma proud. Right, bye-bye.